Let's go. What's good, people? Okay, we're back. Two Head Podcast with my co-host.
Captain Bourne, what's happening?
My name is Mukhtar, and I have the lovely Sinead with us. You've probably seen her on RTE. Beautiful woman. A lot to talk about. How are you?
I'm good. I'm looking forward to this.
Oh, it's crazy. It's been a minute, man. It's been a minute. Like, let's go straight. Let's dive straight in. Sinead. Was it last year you were on RTE? Was it last year?
Oh, I filmed that 2 years ago. It was Virgin Media.
Yeah.
I filmed it with Virgin Media. Like, I think I'd only been doing OnlyFans for maybe 6 months or something like that. And I went on to that, yeah.
And come here, how did you start your OnlyFans? Because I know you were in the fitness industry for a bit. You done bikini in the fitness industry.
Yeah, I did bikini.
And at the time, were you in a relationship?
No, I had just come out of an abusive relationship, and then I suppose the bodybuilding kind of saved me in a way, because it was something I really focused on for about 5 years.
Okay.
And then COVID started, the gyms closed, there was no more training, I was about to go on prep, so I'd just come off a bulk, so I was already heavier than usual, about to go on a prep. And then all the gyms had closed, and yeah, I just stopped training, stopped doing everything else, and then I was like, what am I going to do now? You know, I can't train for the next while. I didn't have the motivation to like train that hard at home myself, because the kids were off school and everything like that. It was just different,
no
you
one has that type
know.
of
It was like, it was just,
so,
yeah. And I needed my coach pushing me. Do you know what I mean? I'm one of those people. I need to be told, you know, you need to do this. So, yeah. And I always got a lot of attention off men anyway. And there were still a lot of men in my DMs and everything. And kind of a friend suggested it to me. Why don't I try this? And I had thought about it over the years, you know what I mean? Like, it was always been said to me in a jokey way. And I said, you know, yeah, sure, I'd try it. But, I didn't know that it was going to be much younger women, you know, signing up to the platform. I didn't know that it would be, like, such a big deal that I was, you know, in my 40s starting to do this. But, yeah, it worked out well, thankfully.
Thankfully, yeah, absolutely.
Thankfully.
Yeah, there's one thing in that actually that you brought up that I'd wanted to ask you, and it was from competing and having that male attention, and then do you feel that nearly kind of readied you, or like was that nearly half the battle of deciding to do the OnlyFans thing?
Yeah, because I mean, I was so used to being semi-naked, doing photo shoots, putting up all those selfies on Instagram as you do, you know, like, you know, 3 weeks into prep, you know, all that, you know, showing off your shreds and everything. So, doing this was just, and even how you pose during, even though I've given it up for a lot of years now, you will even see in my poses, the bikini poses, some of them, you know, you just have that certain way of standing with your leg tilted and everything like that.
To prop yourself,
yeah, you just know how to do it. So yeah, that gave me, you know, it was kind of just a transition, really, to be honest, and getting comfortable with the way my body was now, rather than chasing the shreds I was before.
But like, as he asked there, like that is a brilliant question, because the reason why we brought that question aboard is, and you could have asked anybody, my G, come on,
my guy, I got you, bro.
But like, the reason we brought that is because I feel like the fitness industry, especially in the bikini areas, they're manipulated, and I feel like when a girl doesn't have much attention for so long, and literally goes into want to compete, start wearing little bikinis, doing photo shoots, and then the wrong attention, or let's say loads of attention, comes towards her on social media, and she's not used to doing that. I feel like they're actually gonna fuck their mind up and put them on the wrong path. I feel like a lot of girls in the fitness industry has been misled so hard that they do anything for first place.
Well, my problem was like with the bodybuilding was I had an eating disorder way back in my like teenage years.
Okay.
So then, you know, so my weight had always yo-yoed up and down, but I had been extremely skinny and I had dabbled in modelling and things like that. Then I had kids young. I had my first. I was pregnant at 17. So, you know, I had kids, bad relationships. And so what it was, you know, I had got out of this bad relationship. I had met a great coach, and what it was is, for me, it wasn't about male attention and stuff like that. It was actually nearly having an eating disorder, but doing it in a healthy way.
Healthier way.
Do you know what I'm saying? So it was like an addiction for me. So, and I think that bodybuilding, you may disagree, is kind of a quite selfish sport because, as you know, when you're on prep and things like that, you really don't take in what's going on outside you.
No.
Okay, nothing else matters. If somebody dies, it doesn't matter. If somebody breaks up, nothing matters but the scale and how you look.
Exactly.
So for those 5 years I did it, it was nice kind of being so selfish for those 5 years, you know, and I kind of needed that. And to, like, even now, if I think of the best day of my whole life, if I can think back to anything I'm most proud of, it's when I arrived in Limerick for my first show, which was RIBBF, and being there on stage and having got myself to, no, I didn't place, but just getting myself into that shape and kind of reinventing myself from being just a mom, you know, whatever, to being this person that can lose all this weight and be really motivational. And all that stuff about the abuse was kind of in the paper at the time, and it was like, wow, you know, this girl's like superwoman, she lost all this weight and now she's a bodybuilder. And you know, it was kind of really, that's what I loved about it, you know what I mean? It was like, oh, I'm so powerful. And but really, I don't know if it was that good for me, but it did help me through those years. You know, it really gave me something to focus on, and I enjoyed that selfishness. You know.
Yeah, we all do, and selfish is exactly what it is.
Oh, it's and I had kids, and they still say, Mom, please don't go back to competing again. They beg me.
Bodybuilding is one of the most selfish sport out there, and I always said that. I said that to you. I said it to, like, I feel
all
like
you care about is fitting your meals in, fitting your training in.
When you don't have a full support of a family, or the family don't understand what it is, it's a heartache. I've seen people go from good jobs, married, and go into bodybuilding and lose it all.
Oh, you
it's
do.
a selfish game,
because
you know?
nothing else matters.
Yeah,
like, it really doesn't.
And it is
I think
truly,
COVID made me reconnect and everything with my kids. And like, don't get me wrong, I was always a good mom. I was always there. But I mean, it really, COVID and not training and being comfortable with the way I looked without having to constantly being lean and shredded and worry about what I was eating, it was such a nice relief to me. And then getting into the industry I'm in now, where you can have a McDonald's on your way to a photo shoot. You know what I mean? With a photo shoot with bodybuilding, I was used to drinking, 10 litres of water a day. Up until, you know what I mean? Like, it's intense, right? And I mean, I was watching all these girls, like, we're on our way to a shoot and we're going through a drive-through and they're just like, yeah, you can eat whatever you want. And I was thought, oh my God, it's not so brilliant. It's not so amazing that I can actually be appreciated for looking the way I look now without having to, because I was never happy. I mean, I look back at my pictures now and I'm like, my God, dude, you were amazing.
It's hard to know it in the middle of it, isn't it?
But I've spent about 4,000 more, oh God, a lot more probably, on my face since then, because I had no cheekbones, I had no chin. I've been doing some stuff during my bodybuilding that had started making me look masculine. So I had to, like, get my whole face basically, like, reconstructed after, you know what I mean? Like, get my cheeks plumped, get my lips plumped, get my chin contoured, do all this stuff to my face because I'd look so old.
And when you say you've been doing stuff, like, there we go, as a bikini, what? Fat boners? I
was doing, okay, so for my first show, I'm trying to think now. For my first show, I don't know whether I was doing growth for my first show. I don't think I was. Maybe I possibly could have been. Growth, but I did do Clen.
Growth,
I did Anavar.
You done what? Sorry, what was the first one?
Anavar, Clen.
Clen, okay, Clen.
Anavar. Which I kind of think is pretty standard, the Clen and the Anavar. I mean, if you don't do it, then you'd be entering the natural natural shows, okay? So I mean, there's no point in saying it doesn't happen, okay? I mean, if you're going to go for people, well, I'm 100% person, so I'm going to do whatever I can to look my best, and that was my mindset. And then I did growth. I was injecting growth into myself, on and off for the periods of time. I'd be doing cycles of it and stuff like that. And then if I was coming up to a show, like, I would honestly be maybe taking 4 Clen a day, 5 Anavar. This is all coming up to the weeks coming up to the show. So I often wonder how I had the energy to work out that much, but I think it was actually because of the Clen and everything like that was giving me
giving you the energy.
Yeah, my mood swings were terrible. You get the spots on your back when you're doing Anavar. Wow. It's like all like there is your periods stop, which can stop anyway because your body fat's that low.
So transitioning into the OnlyFans, right? So when you started your OnlyFans page, what was the thought like? What made you actually What made you say, okay, guys, I'm doing OnlyFans?
Basically,
what I mean?
honestly, it was actually, and I think girls will argue with me, but I really don't care what they say. The reason why most girls start OnlyFans isn't to particularly make money. It's because it sounds glamorous. It sounds glamorous to be a porn star and to have men, look at you and get the attention, and you need really, when it comes down to it, I think that is why a lot of people start. Oh yeah, the money's, of course you want the money from it, right? But it sounds very glamorous, doesn't it? I mean, now everyone's doing OnlyFans, but back then you saw a lot of it online. These girls were making lots of money. They were doing, sexy pictures, and I thought, well, that's not really much different than what I've been doing. Okay, I don't want to put my body through that anymore and doing all this. So, I'll do OnlyFans. I mean, I've got lots of sexy lingerie. I'll put it on, and what I did to start off is I had loads of creepers in my DMs from the bodybuilding and from what I'd built up my following before. So I basically sent a DM to all those people, all my message requests of guys in them, sent them all a DM saying, this is my site, sign up. So within the first 2 days, I had a good few people signing up, and then...
You weren't shy from the start, basically what you're saying.
No, I got into the top 10%, I think, within the first 2 weeks, which was kind of good. And then it just went up from then. And, I think it was when people initially, because people had known me from the bodybuilding, first dates, I'd done first dates and things like that. So I had people that recognized me from things like that. So when they saw me doing the porn, they were like, okay, we want to see what she looks like naked,
Yeah, you were cold calling them motherfuckers as well.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Love that shit. That's the first thing. Let me see who's
Go get it.
chilling here waiting for it.
Go get it.
I
say
had
that,
people
sorry to
signing
cut you
up.
off for a sec. Come to say that. So, do y'all remember when Bar Baby,
Yeah.
Yes.
2018,
Yes.
she made like £1 million in 4
Right, yeah.
Out the
on her
park.
fourth day of
That
OnlyFans.
doesn't, but that's
she made
what
£1 million
people hear,
Yeah.
and they're like, oh my God, that's going to be me. Like, that's not what it's like,
So, would you yourself personally now say a lot of people has been misled? They're taking the voice from the wrong people.
Oh, 100%. It's over glamorized, and it's not a great industry to be in. I'm not
I'm
going to
be
lie.
dead serious, right? Most OnlyFans girls in this country, there's 5 to 10% of views that's doing well. The rest are still doing the same shit.
Well, a lot
they
of
always
people
did.
drop out very soon. I mean,
But
I've
see
worked
that
with
now,
a lot of
dropping out.
girls.
She's dropping out now. You know that stigma doesn't go.
This is what I keep explaining to the girls, or even a lot of them now say, oh, I'm going to give this up in a few years when I meet somebody and I get married and I have kids. And I'm thinking in my head, well, people aren't going to want to marry you and have kids. And people think that's horrible, and you're shaming sex workers. I am a sex worker, and I'm telling you, at the moment, because these girls are young and they're in their 20s and things like that, it's trendy to go out with somebody that does OnlyFans. My girlfriend's doing OnlyFans, and that's great. But when you get older,
I disagree on that. Though.
Okay, but you disagree.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is this is why a lot guys who sub to the pages think it's cool. They're with an OnlyFans girl. They make content with her. Now, when you're my age, if I was into dating and I met a guy and I said, I did OnlyFans. Guys don't want to go out with somebody that's showing themselves online. I'm not shaming people. I do it myself. I'm just saying people have to be aware. It's not as easy as they think to erase what they've done, and for men not to look at them in a certain way. I realize men are always going to look at me in a sexualized way. They over sexualize me. They know they can look up my Twitter and they'll see my nudes and things like that.
The way I explain that is, right, if I walks into the shop, and all that's sold is fish and chip, that's what I fucking want. So if I was on your page, and all I see is ass and tits, that's a fuck all I want from you. That's it. There's nothing else from it. That's why you're selling,
honest,
and
I
that's
think
what I'm
that's
getting.
what most men want. I mean, majority of the time, and it's easier for them to get it when they're just subbing to a girl's page. You know what I'm saying? So I think that a lot of girls, because they get into it so young, are literally disillusioned. And don't get me wrong, I have friends that are in relationships that do OnlyFans, and that's fine, and that really does work out for people, I
disagree.
I can't say because I'm not in a relationship. I wouldn't do it. I would go fuck mad. But I do know, and I have friends that are in relationships with people
I understand
that do it.
and I see that. We see that a lot on social medias, and a lot of questions that came in for you today. A lot of people want to hear is, okay, see the friends that do That's why it would have been brilliant to have your mate on, because she was, you know what I mean? A lot of people that do the sex work and then they have a partner at home. As a man, me personally as a man, if I was, say for example, me and you are partners, for example, my job is to protect you and make sure that you don't reveal yourself to nobody. What you can do for me, I don't want you to do it for other man. And what you need, I'm going to provide it for you. When you take that away, is he a man still?
Well, this is my opinion on it. Even though I have friends that do it, and I have no. This is just, as we said, it's an opinion show. Okay, my opinion is, if I had a boyfriend, and I was doing OnlyFans, you know, and a lot of the girls, they make more monies than their partner, and I was, you know, buying him stuff. As I was saying, I think that, and yeah, so you know, I kind of think, yeah, that's a bit of a. I'm like, you know, you don't mind your girlfriend working and doing all this and letting her pay for your stuff. I personally don't agree. I'm like, those guys are losers. That's just my opinion. And then there's also couples
that do OnlyFans together.
And that's swap partners, which I have friends that do that as well.
They're basically swingers.
Well, they're getting paid for content, and it's not, and I know that they do separate it from work, and I can't really speak on that because I don't do it, but I wouldn't do it because one, I'm incredibly jealous. I wouldn't want anyone touching anyone I'm with, and it just gives me the ick because I feel like the guy gets the best of both worlds. He has his girlfriend, then he gets to bang other people, and to me, it's just a bit. It doesn't sit right with me, but then. You know, just because I don't agree with it doesn't mean people. You know,
like it's dead serious to when we talk about things like this, because I feel like people need to know. These are questions people want to know.
But there is people that are in great relationships.
No, I understand that. Look, I understand that, but one thing I will say to you is, there's never a peace moment. If I know for a fact, if my board is selling our ass or showing our ass off or whatever way we want to say it, you don't mind me talking the way I talk to?
No.
I can't put on a fake accent, by the way, and anyway, so it is what it is. But but if my board is selling her ass or whatever, yeah, I know for the fact I can't have a good night's sleep. That's just the God honest truth. And the reason, and yeah, we can say, okay, she's making good money, she's supporting the family. Who the fuck am I? Why am I, like, you know what I mean? What makes me a man anymore?
Well, look, I mean, I kind of agree on that part. I mean, I do think that men need to, I don't think they should be the sole providers, but I do feel, yes, you know.
But you feel like men in that position are afraid to talk, just in case they feel like they're going to lose their partner.
No,
like
I think
if
they
a man
enjoy.
turns around to you now and you're with him and he turns around to you and goes, okay, look, you've done well. I can provide for you. You don't need to fucking work. You don't need to be doing this shit anymore.
Oh, well, I just wouldn't be with somebody that would say that because I still want to do this job, you know what I mean? And it's my career, and I wouldn't let a man tell me what I could and couldn't do. Therefore, I will stay single.
Okay.
But, and I would hope my friends, if they met a guy and the guy has told them to stop doing it, that they wouldn't be with that guy. Because I have friends that have been successful in the industry. And like if you've heard me in other podcasts, as I've said, OnlyFans girls are treated in a certain way by men so often, and they're so used to it that the first guy that is nice to them, they will drop their whole career for, and they will run off with these guys. And half these guys are losers, okay? And the girl thinks it's going to be like something out of Pretty Woman. They're going to save her life. You know, she's going to leave this industry. And then, you know, she ends up losing her following. She ends up losing her money, her subs, her fans. That's a mistake as well.
Exactly.
You see, so
but there's another mistake that, like, the way I look at it is, right? Well, like, see the way girls put men in a friend zone. Yeah, men put girls in a sex zone.
Oh, I mean, I think obviously,
and I'll be dead serious with you, because, like I said earlier, if I go onto your page and that's all you're selling, that's all I want. I will say whatever the fuck it takes for me to get the cookie. Once I get the cookie, it depends how awesome this cookie is if I want to keep going back. Yeah, but that doesn't mean I'm going to bring you home for dinner.
Yeah, but you know, the girls that do OnlyFans, they wouldn't be giving you any attention unless you gave them money anyway. That's all we're looking for. We're not out here looking to get men's approval. We want your money. We want you to pay for our content. So honestly, OnlyFans girls aren't that interested in what guys think of them.
Yeah. And this is, we had to talk like this to get this.
Yeah.
Do you get me? A lot of people don't understand it, like, because even me myself, I wonder sometimes, porno's fucking free. I have a good phone. I can go into the Jacks now and beat one out
Good phone.
for free.
I understand that,
Steady
okay?
Wi-Fi, bro.
Well, okay, when I leave here today,
Yeah.
okay, you dudes might look up my Twitter and say, "Oh, she didn't look like that today." You know, look at her. Okay, so what I'm saying is, you've met me now. Okay, you've seen me. So therefore, if either of you guys were like, "Oh my God, she's so hot," right? What are you going to do? You can sub to me because you've met me. You've built up a one-on-one kind of personal. You feel like you know me. Therefore, you go get my content. It feels like you have more of a connection with me. And this is the whole point of OnlyFans. You're not watching somebody you don't know doing porn. You're directly going to the girl you like and you're directly talking to her.
And then on OnlyFans, you can ask requests, obviously, yeah?
You request. You can get custom videos, video calls. You can have sexting sessions. You can basically have one-on-ones with the girls. Girls can go live on their page as well, so you can see them. And it's really about having more of a connection with somebody, so you don't feel you're just
So, it's not straight porn. It's more of a social kind of
it's
connecting.
like and you know, there's lots of girls. I don't do it personally, but there's girls that do girlfriend experience on their page. So you're paying them to be your girlfriend. So they will like not meet you, but they'll have phone conversations with you. They'll text you a few times a day. Good morning, good night.
They ring you given out.
You know, I mean, there's all.
That's my girlfriend experience.
Yeah, you know,
That's the realest one I paid for so far.
Sorry, babe.
You know, like clearly, you guys would never sub to my page because I'm a dominatrix, and I just wouldn't take any of your shit off you.
Yeah, but before
you know
Dominatrix, you were OnlyFans.
Before that.
Right. See, in the OnlyFans, yeah?
Yeah.
Like, I know people submit, so they have to subscribe to it, then they have to pay a certain monthly, is it?
What they do is, they subscribe, and then, so for that, they will see whatever's on your page, and then what you do is you have things behind, like a paywall, like videos and video calls.
Oh, they only subscribe once. They only pay for it.
Oh, no. Then they'll have to pay monthly, yeah. You normally, if you put a rebill on, you know, say I have a sale on now for $4, you sub for $4. If you have your rebill on, you'll get charged $10 next month or whatever the girl's price is. You know what I mean? The first month will be a discount. Or you can give away free trials for the first month or two if you want to. You know, if you're feeling like you need a bit of boost to your page, you can put free trials up on Twitter, get more engagement. I would encourage girls to do that actually sometimes.
I feel like OnlyFans need to sort that out for you guys for the free trials, because the free trials alone is a headache to get the fucking thing, to get to it. To get to the page, like.
Oh yeah, because I tried to send him one.
Nah, that shit ain't fun, man.
Yeah, he couldn't get onto it. I don't know. I don't know what you did wrong. It's pretty easy.
2 pages deep, you're like, someone's watching.
I swear there was a tear just coming. Like, I was like, me man, I can feel me man praying.
Steer him in the right direction.
Getting emails from
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, I respect that a lot. And there's a question. Do you have any questions?
No, you keep working.
Right, there's a question that I want to dive into, and I really want to dive into. I need an honest opinion on this, right? I know, like, do you know, I have a lot of respect from you, actually, because I have a lot of respect for you. Because the reason why is, I know you, and I probably know you knew me from the industry, but I've never really spoken to you.
No, I mean, I think we've had the odd text or whatever, but nothing.
You're actually a gent to talk to. Like, you're actually a nice person to talk to. But yeah, about the OnlyFans thing. Before you left the OnlyFans, yeah, let's say, so.
I'm still doing OnlyFans. I still do
So you're
it.
still in
Oh
OnlyFans. Yeah. So what's the most nastiest or the most rewarding request you ever got from OnlyFans?
I mean, I do fetish, so I get lots of
Fetish.
Is there, when he says that, is there anything that sticks out?
Well, Scott content. I mean, you get
What's
asked
Scott
to do
for?
that.
What's Scott?
This would be half
you need to
educational.
educate us on this one.
Yeah,
What's Scott?
No, scat. You know, you empty your
Scats.
bells.
What?
Empty your bells, you know.
Oh, wait there.
Shit.
Somebody's shitting on you.
You're shitting on it?
No, I mean, I have.
No,
actually.
No, listen.
No,
Let's use normal English.
Yes, I have.
None of
I
this
do
scout shit. Somebody's shitting on you. That's all I just saying.
Not on me.
No,
No,
other way around.
Christ.
But what's the point of shitting on someone?
No, what I did, for a custom video, somebody wanted me to.
Take a shit.
Yeah.
Where would you put your camera?
Well, this is what I did. I put a puppy pad in my bath.
Okay.
Nice.
I set the camera up on the taps. I got up before any of my kids were awake. You know, morning, had my coffee.
The early movement to it.
Set it up, made a 2-minute video of it happening, rolled up the puppy pad, chucked it in the bin, and I sold it for like €400. And I can just keep reselling that now, and it's like a 2-minute video. A lot of girls won't do it because they're like, oh God, I'm taking a crap. But I'm like, here, listen, it's going to go down the toilet anyway. If you want to pay me for it,
Wow.
And then obviously I've done
My mind's like...
domination sessions. I've done sessions where you're sitting on a little toilet and you're like weeing on them, you know, in their face and they're drinking.
And how much would you pay for that? That has to be less than
Domination
shit.
sessions, literally they can range from, I mean, you can kind of charge whatever. I mean, honestly, the going rate for, I think, domination sessions in Ireland for an hour is around, you know, 300 to 400, you know, is what you charge for an hour. You can charge more than that. I would charge more than that because I don't do it very often. So if I'm doing it, like I'm doing like a tour soon with another girl, so I will charge a lot for a session with me. If I can get it, because I don't do it often.
Let's go back to the shit.
Yeah, I need to. I'm sorry. We need to.
I really need to touch
You can't
it
just
now.
talk about shit in the
You can't
bath.
just walk away
Can't
from
just sit in the
it.
bath and just start talking.
Fetish.
So
Human toilet, you
is
know?
it? It's mad. That's mad. I
nuts.
feel like that is nuts.
That's mad,
But
yeah.
I'm curious.
Yes.
I'm very curious.
Yeah. Go for it.
These people that's paying
Yeah.
for the shit contents, they can't be Irish, can they?
Oh, this dude that was obsessed with it with me was Australian. So he kept trying to arrange a video call where he could actually see me live doing it, but because he was trying to, I was like, dude, my bowels move in the morning. I can't be doing it at night when you want to ring me.
I couldn't
you know?
shit if someone was watching me if you were paying me 400 quid.
Well, you have to if you're,
Don't be able to do
if you're
that.
doing a domination session, you have to be ready to do stuff on command on them. You know.
But okay, so he was from Australia, but how about
Oh, Irish people, there's tons of them. Like you,
that be into that, yeah?
oh yeah, like everything. I mean,
Did
it's
anyone
just,
ever ask you to actually shit on them?
yeah. So I've been asked to do it. I haven't personally done a session. I have done somebody in a session. I haven't done that yet.
And
I've
how
been
much would that
asked
be?
to. It's not much.
Would that not be
women
dear
can
or no?
It would be dearer for you to do that on somebody. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
'cause
I will do it. I mean, in future things.
Yeah.
I've
Because
no
I've
problem.
heard in Dubai, it's 90 to 100 grand up.
That's for them to shit on you. I wouldn't have anyone touch me.
Oh, that's for the men to shit on you.
Yeah, they want to do that. It's a,
No, I mean,
that's a
yeah,
power thing,
yeah.
isn't
In
it? Like,
Dubai, it's all about the guys using the girls as toilets. Like, I would use a man as a toilet. Nobody would go near me. You know what I mean? No. You know,
look,
I am not into golden
I am
showers or any of that type of stuff. You know what I
I'm
mean?
so baffled.
it's mad shit.
You just taught me new shit. Literally.
Well, listen, I mean, you don't look like the type of guy that would be going to a dominatrix or fetish person on OnlyFans, you know? But who knows? I mean, I get so many dudes that you would never think, you know, big gym buffs and all that, and they're there on the video calls with me, you know, like whimpering away, and, you know, it's crazy. I mean, really normal guys. Some guys are, like, actually quite hot, and you would actually, if you were dating people, which I don't, you would date them, you know what I mean?
But would
Like
you date someone that lets you shit on them?
no, Christ.
As
Why-
hot as they are, as you said.
No, I mean, I'm just saying the guys, you would presume they're like freaks that are hidden in the corner with hunchbacks, right? But they're actually not. They're normal, everyday guys that just have weird kinks.
I get where
which
you're
is
coming
why
from.
there's a market for me,
I get where
because
you're coming from.
they can't tell many people about it. But
Yeah.
if they come to me, they can get what they
it's
want.
secret, like, you know.
Yeah.
And like, you know, the funny thing is, I was watching a video on Instagram, and one of the OnlyFans girls, sex worker, dominatrix as well, said that she actually saved a lot of marriage.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, 100%. Because I mean, even with the adult baby play I've done with guys, you know,
That's creepy.
yeah, it's crazy.
That's some creepy shit.
It's creepy, but for me, I quite enjoy it actually. That would be one of my favorite
really,
things to do.
a grown man like in nappies and see what I
Yeah,
like?
I mean, they're easy to deal with. I mean, I have kids, you know what I mean? It's just like, you know, it's,
They're easy to
honestly,
deal with.
it's very easy
I
to
understand it's easy to deal with, but come on, we're looking at someone that's probably
me. I dissociate.
That's like
I'm in work mode.
lived
man.
his life, like
Yeah,
he's old,
but they have
you
kids,
know.
you know,
And he probably has kids, yeah.
they, and you have to understand, it's not in a lot of these kinks they have, dominatrix work is non-sexual. So a guy will not relieve himself in front of me. That's disrespectful. So what we do is we get guys into a subspace, you know, and they're in their own world and they enjoy this pain or whatever else is happening. It's not so much getting their sexual gratification. You know what I mean? They can do that when they're at home or after the session. But I think that people really misunderstand what dominatrixes do in general. I wouldn't be doing anything sexual to the guy. Do you know what I mean? Or they wouldn't be touching me or anything like that. It's purely like a service. Like if people do, full service meets, which I've no problem with either. I mean, who knows? Maybe I will start doing
What's a full service?
You know, full sex with somebody, you know.
Oh, like a
It's
full, right,
yeah, so
like
full
the whole
service.
thing,
There's
yeah,
a lot
full
of girls
service.
that offer full service, which I would never say never to. I have no problem with people that do that. But, you know, yeah, obviously.
And what would be the price on the full service?
I can't say, I mean, because I don't do it, but I do know from girls that do it, it's not as much as you would think. I mean, and people would like to think that, you know, oh, it's thousands an hour and everything. No, it's not. And, you know, there's like absolutely beautiful Eastern European girls that are doing it like in loads of areas around town that are charging like 150 and stuff. So if you're there charging a huge amount, you're just not going to get the, you know, the people coming, you know what I mean? Because they're coming because they just want to get quick relief for an hour. I mean, and I don't know much about that. So, I mean, like I had said, I have friends that dabble in and out of it. And, you know, that's fine. And like I said, you know, I'd never say never to doing that. I mean, you know, it's just...
So that's basically going into the prostitute side of it then?
But that's an offensive term.
Sorry. What would you say then? What would you say? Sorry if I did offend you.
No. I just mean for in general, like we would
I don't
find
want to be cancelled. What would you call it? Just sex work?
Sex work. And we're all in the same umbrella.
Let's go back to what I just said there, though. Sex work and prostituting, it's the same thing.
It basically is, yeah. But some people, we all say the same thing, but it's just basically anything to do with what this industry is sex work, like stripping goes underneath that, you know, dominatrix, escorting, online work, even selling your feet pics. That's sex work, you know what I mean? It's all underneath.
Yeah, but see, that's sex work, right? Selling your feet pic, selling whatever, that's sex work. I understand that, but that's not intimate. Prostituting or selling yourself, though. It's more different. You're buying an escort, someone that's going to come out to you. Yeah. That's going to...
But I've made content with guys before, on my page when I began. And
but that's the thing, though. If you made content with the guys, you didn't charge the guys, did you?
No.
Exactly. So you benefit from it on your page.
Well, in fact, with one person, I actually the last person I recorded straight boy-girl with, I had a photographer come do it. And because I didn't pay for the hotel or anything now, the photographer did all that, but... on the shoot and stuff like that, I get free because I'm good friends with the photographer. But the guy who came for it, I had worked with him before. He's a great looking guy, great. I mean, I just personally
did they show their face now?
He didn't show his face now. That's why I had somebody come through it. But because I didn't want him to think, you know, they were saying beforehand, oh, can we have a drink with it? Can we smoke a few joints? Can we do this? And I said, no, this is strictly work. It's in and out. It's an hour, 2 hours. And I actually paid them a small fee, very small fee compared to what I've made from the video, because I wanted it to be, this is not you enjoying yourself. This is not me enjoying myself. When he went up and down, which guys do, when you've got lights on you and you're being filmed, you know, I wasn't going to go into the bathroom and make him hard again. I was like, get in there and do that yourself. Yeah.
And come here, so like, if that's, for example, you're in that position where you're bringing someone in for content, let's say, yeah? And you're not enjoying it?
No.
Like, so why are you doing it if you're not enjoying it?
Because it sells. Yeah? I mean, nobody enjoys. I mean, I think that people really misunderstand with this. Even when I'm doing scenes with girls or men, none of us are and as porn stars, we keep saying this. Our content, we're in work mode. You're looking for the best camera angles. You're looking for the best moves you can make, how you look, how you sound. You're not. It's robotic. It's like.
But then that take away from sex, no?
Well, yeah, it has. It's totally ruined sex
it ruined sex for you, like?
No, I would never. I'm asexual now. I don't even. Nothing turns me on.
Mad.
Like nothing. It's totally.
I know you say asexual, but like legitimately, do you feel that way?
Legit. I can never. The thoughts of anyone even like if I do collabs with girls or men, they're not really allowed to touch me, and even the girls aren't even really allowed. You know what I mean? And that's the way I have things now. I will do things to them. You know, I'll use my strap on, my hands, my whatever. You know, they will kind of kneel before me, and I would never kneel in a video or in a picture or anything like that because I'm a dom and I don't put myself in those positions. So for me, even the thought of being touched by male or female, it kind of I'm just not for work, of course, but I just don't. I've turned my opinions and things have changed over the last 2.5 years, and I really know what I want, what I don't want. So I'm very, very in control of everything I do now.
Brilliant.
You know, so I would never, even the thought of a man, my ex-husband, for instance, you know, he minds my kids. he has a lot of health problems, so he minds the kids while I work, which you probably think is crazy because, you know, my ex-husband is like waving me off and I'm going to have sex with all these guys and girls. He's like, see you later, look at you know, and I'll come home and I'll have dinner.
Work, babe.
You know, but he was giving me a hug during the week. I was upset about something and I was like, oh, I just don't like
you don't
being
like being
touched or affection or no.
I'm sorry, I hugged you when I came in the door.
Oh, that's different. You know, that's like a hello, a greeting hug. I don't like when people are getting intimate with me and trying to touch me or anything.
Let's take it back, right? So now let's take it back to the RTE. And let's take it back. Virgin Media, Virgin Media. And let's take it back to a few other work that you've done, I seen there in one of your videos, your oldest daughter, was really involved with you. She was really supportive.
Yeah.
See, when you decided to go OnlyFans, did she literally, it's cool? Or was there something that she had to adapt to?
No, I think that my girls were pretty adaptable to it straight away because I think they're girls and it's not such a big deal. You know, my son now, it took longer, you know.
It would.
But with the girls now, it was pretty much, my kids are kind of used to me coming up with these harebrained ideas and just thinking, I'm going to do this. So they kind of knew I was just going to do it. Excuse me, they accepted it quite quickly. That wasn't really a problem.
But do you think one monkey see, monkey do?
Oh God, no! My kids are like completely off.
But what was to happen if your kid, one of your daughter, your oldest
one of my
daughter,
daughters wanted to do it
and said, "Okay, look, ma, I'm gonna go into sex work."
I would say no. I want you to look at every single option before you decide to do this.
No, ma, you're being a hypocrite. I helped you put that strap on.
And I'll say yes, and you've heard, and you've seen how it's affected me, how it's affected younger girls, and I think you should wait until you're a lot older till you make that decision.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, because that was that's what I was actually going to say was, is it the fact at the age that you're at when you started? Do you feel like that was probably the better? Because like a lot of it is kind of like girls are so young, they're naive, they don't fucking
I don't think you should be allowed to join an online platform until you're 25. Yeah. I think OnlyFans is far too accessible to join. All these sites are, and girls that are just turning 18, and I have friends that are extremely, extremely young, younger than my daughter, that are doing it, and God, they just don't know how it's going to affect them in a few years. I don't know how it's going to affect me. No one knows, but what I do know is that girls that are in this industry, every single girl that I've met, myself included, we're all quite broken. You know, we've had bad relationships. We've had bad relationships with family. We've been hurt before. You know, there's something a bit broken about all of us, which is fine. Okay, if you're a gym head and you're doing this, like it doesn't really, okay, you're a bit affected. But when this job, it makes you very vulnerable.
It does. And another thing, like, I'm delighted you brought that up. I feel like you're probably one of the realest one in the game, to be honest with you. And I'll give you your flowers today. But you just nailed it there. Like, most girls that's in the OnlyFans, they have to be affected somehow.
Oh, you are. You definitely
have to be.
You have to be.
Me personally, like now, even girls that's not OnlyFans and putting, they want to act like they know the actual trash and the engagement the OnlyFans pages are getting, that they're just ass and tits on their pages as well. But I feel like, me personally, and this is no aim at you or anybody, but I feel like anyone that goes on OnlyFans, I don't care if it's today for one day, or you signed up for a week and you decided to go off, or you're on it for a year, blah blah blah. You're no value to anybody, to a man anymore. You're really not. The way I say that, I know I said it pure raw, but like I said, if I offended anyone, my apologies.
You're not. It's just
an opinion.
But
I feel like,
I think it's an unfair opinion to have.
Let me finish.
So let's talk about it, guys.
I'll tell you.
Let's talk about it.
I feel like, right, a woman that's on OnlyFans, right, loses credibility, right? Just like a woman that has high body count loses credibility. Now, we live in Ireland where our population is 4 million. You being on OnlyFans, or you having a high body count, there's nowhere we can go in Ireland that somebody hasn't seen your snack box. And me as a person, you walked away from it, and I'm mad about you. I am mad about you. I'll give you the world, the earth, blah, blah, blah. But every time I walk into the pub, and the boys are talking, the first thing that's coming to my head is, who's seen me girl's snack box?
Yeah, but you
Which
see
one?
that, but that's,
It's pure insecure.
I
And
understand.
I'm not going to sit here and say men are not insecure. We are the worst.
yeah, but see, this
We are
is
the
the
worst.
problem with I have it males, which is why I completely enjoy whipping the shit out of you and absolutely getting my strap on and showing you who's boss. Because the way you are speaking now about women is what turns me off men and has made me asexual, because you're so... Oh, the girls that do... I mean, what? Is it okay for you to bang around?
No.
Yeah, wait, can
Okay.
I jump in?
Yeah,
Can I jump in really quick?
Go.
Like a Sweden one here. This is slightly neutral. It's just from a bloke's perspective, because again, men are insecure, and that makes us probably the worst candidates for being around someone in that setting where I go down to the pub, and we've seen it happen to Aidan Ross.
Yeah.
Someone blasted a picture of his sister doing something on OnlyFans on his live stream, and now he's just lads do that, but like, what do you think of that, you know? And that's
his whole career.
Again, that's obviously the girl's decision to do that. If she wants to respect that, grand. But as a guy, then that's a lot to deal with, you know.
No, of course,
lot,
but that's really the guy's problem and not the girls, because I do think, as much as I was saying, like, what I do agree, or I won't say I agree, I understand white males thinking that.
Yeah.
But basically, it doesn't mean that you're not wrong. And it is wrong to have that opinion. It is wrong to think that if a girl shows herself, that means that she is worthless. And she says, what I'm saying is, girls, I understand that this is what guys like yourselves may take.
Let me bring you back to just there before Kav said yoke. You're saying that's my views on girl, but is it okay for men to do the same thing? Okay, I'm going to go back, right? So for years, men are known as dogs. For years. Right, I'm going to explain it very, very, very easy with the likes of Geordie Shaw. Remember when it was on telly, right? Your man Gas went around riding rings around himself.
And he was deadly, everyone thought,
Chap caught chlamydia, caught anything on telly, and every city he came to, there was queues of girls out the door. Let me be straight and honest when I say this, right? Most men that girls find attractive, are all riding like crazy. 20% of men that female find attractive, 20% of men that's in your DM is in other girls' DM that you find attractive.
100%,
you know? But what we always had as men is men can do it, but as soon as a woman does it, they lose the credibility.
Yeah, but that's wrong, isn't it?
It's been wrong for long, but nobody made the rules.
That's true, but that's why I think the rules need to change, and that's why...
But the thing is, being in a house and seeing your mother and knowing that, okay, that's like, we were raised up, men is men, female is female.
Yeah.
Your girl is your delicate, you know, you treat her well, you're the breadwinner, make sure you get blah, blah, blah. That's how we were raised. That's just the way it is. Now that the world is like, boom, changing around. You cannot break the chain that's been around for years and years and years in the space of 20 years, because OnlyFans now is a thing.
You can't, but you can start changing men's opinion. And this is exactly why I got out of doing the mainstream porn, is because of men's opinions like that. You know, and I think that stigma like this needs to be stopped, because it's putting women who do this job into a much vulnerable position, having men like you... if you don't mind, you know, saying things like that. I mean, it does sound very sexist. You know, it does. It's kind of, it's just ridiculous, really. I mean, I don't see why women can't do it if men do it. I agree with what you're saying about girls being disillusioned, thinking they're going to get married and meet somebody next year after selling themselves online for a long time. And I understand that concept, but I'm not saying it's right.
But it's look, I just have enough balls to ask you these questions.
Oh, I have no problem with answering them.
A lot of people want to know the exact same thing.
Of course they do.
Like I said,
you know,
when we said we have you on, the amount of people in their gym that was asking, like, oh, ask this, ask that, ask that. And me personally, like I said, I cannot fake an accent, or I cannot fake being someone else. This is just me. It's not like I have nothing against.
Oh, listen, it doesn't bother me having
these discussions.
These discussions need to be had.
I have nothing against any gender or any yoke or whatever. I have nothing. I'm the most neutral person in the game. But I will speak my mind. That's the problem with me. And one thing I do understand from being a man and being around blokes is, like I said earlier on, women are quick to put men in friend zone. Men are quick to put fucking females in the sex zone. But when you put yourself out there, and like we said, Ireland is such a small area, and you have a high body count. I don't care if you have Hulk or fucking bleeding Superman. That nigga walks into a pub, the first thing he's gonna feel is, if he's white, he's gonna be purple, black, blue, whatever color you can name, he's already gone through. And he's looking around like who knows who. He can never enjoy his night.
But you
Trust
don't
me,
know.
I'm a bloke.
Okay, but I understand
I fucking know.
I understand. But my friend is in a relationship with a dude, you know? They've kids together. He's very much all for, well, you know, I'm proud of her doing this. And I'm not saying I understand that myself, okay? I mean, I you know, I think for a guy to back a girl that's doing this in one way, it's fair enough. I'm not saying I agree with them, you know, taking money, like, you know, some guys just do this because, you know, it's great for them to have their girl doing it, and they're basically spending their money.
Can I just put in there?
Yeah.
The same thing you said about girls having there's something not right, is the same for the men that's with an OnlyFans.
Possibly.
Do you get me? Like
the girls that do OnlyFans, I will 100% say, and there may be people that argue with me, we're all a bit broken, and that's what draws us to this industry.
What about the men that's supporting their board, showing he's belonging. He's genital.
treasures.
Well, you see,
He's treasures. To everyone.
I'm divorced from my husband now, okay, but we are very much like a family unit.
Yeah,
I
that's
feel
brilliant.
like he's still my husband, do you know? But
Yeah,
we're
no,
just,
that's
you
respect.
know.
Civil,
So I'm the earner. So, you know, I provide everything for the family. You know, he's not married to me anymore, but I would obviously help him out financially and things like that. And he's got health problems, but to be honest, and he's quite happy to let me do that. You know, would I be happy if I was in his situation? Probably not. But you know, for me, that kind of gives me back a certain power because, you know, we did get divorced. I was very hurt by him in the past and things like that. And now we've come back together and I kind of feel like I'm the head honcho now, you know, but in the best possible way, right? You know, and he supports me now and everything. And that's the way it works for us. And everyone has different ways of working things, okay? I admire the fact that you want to earn money and you want to do this and you want to be the man. That's great, right?
No, I'm not sitting here
Nobody wants a wuss.
Look, I'm not gonna sit here. I'm trying to be misogynist. This is the whole point of this podcast. Topics that people want to hear. Topics that people are afraid to talk about. That doesn't necessarily mean that's my.
Look, all you can say is
like I have two girls.
People are different.
Yeah,
everyone's different.
I have 3 kids. I have 2 little girls and a little boy. You know, like and I always want the best for them. I always want the best for my kids. If my son tomorrow turns around, he's gay, I will support him. Just if my daughter turns around and that's what she wants to do, that's what she wants to do. I have nothing, like I said, there's nothing misogynist, there's nothing. Yeah, I probably come across a little bit aggressive because the way I pronounce things, but it's just the area I came from. That's just the way I talk, you know what I mean? And when we said we do this podcast, that's the first thing we said to ourselves. Are we ready to go all in? Because I know I have no filter. I know that.
Oh, look,
you know?
I've got no filter either, so a lot of people don't like my opinions on things.
Yeah.
So I mean that's fine, but everyone's entitled to an opinion,
exactly.
right?
So when I ask questions, I really want to know. It's not like, oh, he's thrown it in there, he's been a bit of an asshole.
I understand,
really want to know.
Education
and
for
I
us
also
as well.
understand that this is it's a very secretive kind of world, and so people want to know, and I'm willing to, especially the dominatrix end of it.
Yeah, my guy there didn't know what you do. He didn't even know what dominatrix was.
I enjoy hearing it, right?
You know what I mean?
I'd be expecting him to sub later.
So, he's over there eating the shit out of his jacket. He's wondering what the fuck.
The most popular thing, though, is like youth of today. Like, I'm going to ask you a few questions now in a few minutes. But the most popular thing right now is because youths of today, like when we talk about numbers, bodies, blah, 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 I know men's side. I don't necessarily know what the woman think. But I will tell you men's side. And that makes me misogynist, so be, but that's what the men think.
It's a fact, though.
It's just a fact of what men...
Well, yeah. I mean, I think we women who work in this industry, we all kind of have an idea of how
so most men that I've talked
work.
to, most top men, whatever, work and they have everything, they have whatever they need, blah, blah, blah. Like, they turn around and they say, like, oh, it's so hard to find a fucking decent one. Because men are insecure about their flower. Like, if you date someone that has a higher body count to you, as a man, you're already insecure. You're in a shell.
Yeah.
And like
really though, I don't even understand why that would be a factor. So if you met a
that's the
girl,
thing.
would you be like, what's your body count?
You will never understand because you're not a bloke.
Yeah.
It's a man muscular. It's a testosterone. It's everything to come with a
bloke
man.
isn't probably going to tell you either. Anyway,
A bloke will never, and that's the problem.
Yeah, he's not gonna come
and
out
that's the
with
problem. A bloke will see you and he like you. He will probably go out for dinner with you. He will treat you like the world. He go back to his mates. His mates would say, "Oh, who are you with? I was with you on one blah blah blah." No way. Huh?
Oh shit.
Oh shit. Straight away,
know.
that's already.
Really?
Now,
Because I
obviously,
think a lot of guys like
Context
it.
is everything. People are
I
different.
think a lot of guys get a kick out of being with someone that other girls are looking at.
They get a kick out of it, but they will not wife it. They will get a kick out of
Maybe.
it. They will blow their muck on it, but they will never
I can't
wife
disagree
it.
because I'm not sure what it'll have on. I just know now that because OnlyFans and porn and all that is like kind of trendy at the moment, that it doesn't bother a lot of men. But as I said, and like as I say to my younger friends, you don't know how that's going to affect you in a few years because it's not something that goes away. Your stuff is always online.
Exactly.
You're always going to bump into people. I mean, I see my subs all the time. I mean, I don't see them. They see me and then they'll text me and say, I saw you in the shop. And I look fucking terrible. I'm up there, greasy hair, like whatever, tracksuit, there's no getting away from it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think anything that's on social media is on there for good.
Oh, anything.
Oh, yeah, the boobies aren't going anywhere. Like,
even
online
the
forever.
Virgin Media thing is repeated constantly, like every month. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Say I wasn't in the industry anymore, okay, and I'm a teacher now or whatever, right? Okay, that's still being played all the time.
All the time.
Repeated.
Whatever about reruns on telly, but like fucking Google Images isn't going
You
anywhere.
Googled me before I came on, right? The amount of stuff. My stuff has been leaked. If you Googled my name, my OnlyFans name, I mean, the amount of leaked stuff that comes up, I'm leaked on 1,000 sites, and that's what happens.
Don't be saying that too
and it
loud,
never
though,
goes. It doesn't
Keep making
bother.
the money, do you know what I
Listen,
mean?
you
Giving them a
make
cheat
money
code.
from being leaked because
Oh,
people
right.
see your stuff, so it's really free advertising.
Promo,
for us,
really.
People
honestly.
leak that there's a lot of
Oh no, we
leak
don't
their own
need
stuff
to.
themselves.
No, God, no, it always gets out. I mean, I don't know any girls that stuff hasn't been leaked, to be honest with you, but it doesn't really bother any of us.
Yeah, but again, like I said, it's still promo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's still a problem. Before we go into break, there's one more question I wanna touch on. Do you have a question I want to touch on?
Here you go for it. I'll get mine in the end. Yeah, I got a few there.
So see when you all do content together, all the girls get together and you have the little play on the bed or blah blah blah. Who takes the prize money? Or is that for everyone?
Oh
on
no,
your
we
page?
will sell it. We will all get the video and we will get the pictures, and then
You all sell it individually on your
we
pages.
can sell it individually. What I would normally do is I will probably sell my content at maybe cheaper than a lot of the girls because I'm the dominatrix and I'm not particularly getting naked in it. So, and I've got so much content.
But you get more money from the call-outs though. Like they come out to you because you're a dominatrix, so they have to come out and
Oh
get...
no, the girls wouldn't pay me to make content with
No,
me.
when I say call-outs, as in like as a dominatrix, men come to you to be misled, to be
Oh,
whipped.
yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
you get more money in that field than you would on the Instagram platform. Is that what you're saying? On the
No,
OnlyFans
I
platform?
would make a lot of money from OnlyFans. Would be my main source. Of
Oh yeah?
income. Yeah,
I would have
yeah.
thought domination could be more.
Yeah.
It is, but I've got nowhere to do it from. I was originally working with a girl, and we would work out of a location she had. Now I'm not working with her anymore.
You know what you need? You need a dungeon room.
I have a log cabin, but I couldn't bring anyone near my home. You know what I mean, with my kids there. And the thing is, working out of hotels is quite risky because they cop on to what you're doing. There's also safety
Here in the
issues.
Buddha background.
But that's the thing, So that's why I'll be doing a tour with another girl, and we will hire somewhere and we will do it out of that, and that's what I'm going to do from now on. So when I do in-person meets sessions, I will be charging more because it will be more of an exclusivity thing, and I will film content like that when I'm doing it. Girl collabs, I would do it weekly, with
Brilliant.
the different girls.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and then but I read you hadn't done anything like the girl and girl stuff.
Oh,
was
I
it?
had never
only started with
even
OnlyFans.
kissed a girl
Oh.
before I'd done this. And I remember after my first girl scene, it's a funny story. And I have done loads of collabs with her since, and I love this girl and she's gorgeous and great friend. But the first time I did a collab with her, it was a very strange situation. My younger kids, I think they were in their dad's house or something at the time, because this was like 2.5 years ago. And the girl I did a collab with was the same age as my daughter, my oldest daughter. And she ended up staying the night. We did a full scene, strap-ons and everything like that. I had never done that before. And at the time I wasn't a dominatrix, so she used to strap on me and vice versa. Okay, and oral and all that type of stuff. And the next day, because she stayed the night, we went to the beach for a walk and we had a coffee together, and my daughter came with us. And they were talking about college and everything. And it made me like feel really weird about the whole thing. I was like, and I don't know what it was. It hit me, and I kind of felt, I was like, oh my God, have I sunk this low? What have I done? And I felt like I was violated, but I wasn't, because it was all consensual. And I have done many collabs with this girl since, you know, and I think a lot of girls, because I have taken a lot of girls' Strapon Virginity, being a dominatrix, and, you know, even though we talk about it beforehand and stuff, some of them have felt a little bit funny about it afterwards, because they'd never, I've been with a lot of girls who it's their first time. And there is, with a lot of, if you're straight and you're doing something like this, like Gay for Pay, you know, and it's just a collab, sometimes that can affect you a little bit, but then it becomes second nature. So, I mean, I've done so much more stuff that is far worse since then, but it was a very obscure moment for me when I had sex with this girl the night before, and then her and my daughter were just walking on the beach talking about college things, and I just thought, God, I feel icky. But, you know, that was something I got over, and that wasn't anything on the girl or anything. It's part of the business.
Internal,
It's, you know.
Me personally, like when you said that, a lot came to my head, and like it's hard being a parent, being an OnlyFans.
Oh,
I say you had to juggle a lot of things to get to a nice peaceful mind.
Mentally, like honestly, now it's really gotten a lot easier. It's really gotten a lot easier, especially with, I would say, my son and things like that. And
let's touch a little bit on that. I don't want to talk too much about but
it's a lot different, I think, for a son than it would be
the
for
problem
daughters.
with that for me is, again, I'm talking from a man's point of view or a boy point of view, like.
It's very hard.
It's very hard, because the reason why is, being in school or being anywhere, as soon as you get into fight, the first thing they're going to use against you, your man's on OnlyFans.
Upsetting before you're young fella.
What son
You
would
really
want
have
their
no ammo.
mother would want their mother been seen as a sex symbol?
You really
right?
have no ammo. Like,
No.
as a son, you has no ammo, and
There's not even a point I can make that's good about that, because I agree completely with what you say, and it is incredibly hard, and it was hard for the first while. And like I said, my whole family didn't speak to me, so really my kids and my ex-husband is my main, what I have. You know, this is my whole family, and I didn't really give my kids a choice on whether I was going to do it or not. I basically informed them I was going to do it, and I think. I mean, I'm glad I went forward and did it, and I think I would have done it regardless, but I wish I had thought a little bit more about how it would affect them. Luckily, it hasn't. I mean, I'm very lucky it really hasn't. My son and things like that hasn't had anything said to him. But keep in mind, I have changed my work around a lot, and I've done that as well because of my kids, because I feel this is less, for my son, me being a dominatrix isn't as maybe crushing to him as it would be if I was seeing men all the time, having intercourse. Do you know what I mean? I'm in charge in a certain way, and I think that gives him a little bit of comfort if it was going to give him anything, and he's gotten used to it. But it's not a great job to do when he's
the problem is, like, you know, like, the problem is anyone can sign up to it. That's the problem.
You have to be over 18, obviously.
But like, people are 18 are using IDs, and they look like the IDs, and like,
I've had to ID
there's
guys
fake
when I'm on a video call to them.
You know, like, a
because
fake
they look
ID
so
is
young,
like
you
a
know?
second to none thing.
Yes.
You can get a fake ID like now. You know, so there's a lot of kids on OnlyFans.
You need to have, though, like, bank account. Like, it is kind of hard. It's hard to get on. I haven't really heard of anyone dealing with somebody that was below the age.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like, when I go to, there's a lot of kids on OnlyFans, is because a kid would have a, like, argument, say for example with you, and knows your sister's on OnlyFans.
oh yeah, well, they can look
And
it
go
up on
and
anything.
set up and buy the picture. It costs them what, €15?
Yeah, it's cheaper. Most
And
girls
like,
have their
that
pages
ammo
of
will be
3 or
used
4.
against you so much that you will, like, I've heard young fellas been suicidal.
Oh, of course.
Do you know, because their parents or their sisters.
I will say at the beginning of this, I used to be very much, oh, it's fine, and I'm a powerful mom, and I'm just earning money for my kids, and it was all I was on the defense a lot, right? On the defense. Now I've been doing it for a long time, and you know, the excitement of doing this job has kind of worn off me and everything, and I can, you know, logically think properly about things. Like, who wants their mom to be a sex worker? Nobody does. And I mean, and even moms now get defensive with me when I say it, and I'm thinking, well, I'm a mom as well. I'm not dogging you out of it. I'm a mom as well. But I think I think there needs to be less stigma attached to porn, okay? And then that will start solving the problem of how, as mothers doing it, we are bad mothers. Do you know what I'm saying? Because, like, I'm a very good mom and I do this job and I'm extremely close to my kids. And any mom I know that does this they are really, really good moms. I mean, I have a support group with loads of girls in it and we talk and they're all mothers.
But see, the problem with...
Their kids are very young and their kids haven't gotten to the age in school that my kids are. So I'm always telling them, you know, they're like, oh, it's fine, because say their kids are like younger, right? 3, 4, 5. They don't have an understanding of what their mom is doing. Now, because I have teenagers and older kids, I'm aware of how much it can affect them in school and things like that.
But see, the problem with it is not that you're bad or good mother. That's not the problem.
You're still getting judged for being a bad mother for doing it in the first place.
I will explain it very easy, because the problem is if you look at any young fella that's been bold or top gangster or sells shit or does mad shit, they come from good homes. You know? So the problem is not, are you a good mother or not, or whatever.
I get what you're saying, though.
Do you get me?
Yeah.
The problem with me is, how is your son's emotion? Is he able to speak to you straight out? Is he able to talk to you as a friend? Is he able to be like as close to you still?
Personally,
you know?
personally, I can't speak on anyone else's, but personally with me and my son, and I, you know, at the beginning, I think it was quite hard for him. I'm not gonna lie, you know. But now, I mean, honestly, me and my whole family, like my ex-husband, we'd be laughing at some of the people I see. You know, I would come in and I'd tell them or what messages I've got. Like, you know, my son would be thinking in his head, like, what? They're mad, Mom. Why would they be? Like, what's wrong with them? You know what I mean? He's like, with the people I deal with now, it's a different type of man that I'm dealing with. So my son would be like yourselves, and he'd be thinking, "What's wrong with
what's
these
going
people?"
on?" Like,
you know. So it's not so much. I'm doing different types of content now, which my kids are more comfortable with. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Respect.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, guys, this episode is sponsored by PR Personal Record, the best gym equipment wear in the game. If you're not in it, make sure to go check it out. We are stored in Champions Gym. We have the knee sleeve, the bar wraps, the elbow sleeves, all in the one packet for £100. The best you can get at the best value. Make sure to check it out. Like I said, it's based right in Champions Gym on the D12 road. And guys, if you go onto our social media and check out our online page, you can order the package today and you will have it in the next 3 to 4 working days at the best price, best quality. Let's get back to the show.
Just as we're getting to the end of it, I think it's something that did come up once or twice, kind of indirectly, but more so your exit plan. So like this is something we talk about a lot, like especially in competitive bodybuilding, where guys, if they're going to pro status or whatever it is, like you're not doing that forever. You know what I mean? You're not going to do competitive shit forever. You're not going to be sponsored forever. You're not going to be the talk of the shit.
There's a timeline on it.
There's an expiry date on everything, you know. And obviously I imagine, but I could never assume about such a thing that wouldn't be the case unless there's some subcategory I'm not aware of where that's the shit and people are looking for.
So, like, when would I plan on giving this up or anything?
Well, not even that, but what's your next move out the back of that?
Well, I'd never leave the sex industry. As many times as I think in my head, I'm sick of this. I would say I'm not making money 1 week and everything because, you know, the wages for me anyway, from the level I'm at and the level a lot of my friends are at, you know, it's very, 1 month you could make loads, the next month you could make half that much. Good weeks, bad weeks.
Seasonal kind of nearly.
Yeah, you know, and so sometimes I think, gosh, you know, what am I going to do now? And honestly, yeah, for me now, my options are quite closed from 42. I you know, unless I suddenly go back and lose 5 stone and start PTing, which again, you're working for yourself and that's the same. It's probably less money, right? I would like to branch out into doing more in-person domination sessions. I'd like to have somewhere that I work out of permanently so that I could have people in and out. I'd also like to get into doing more talking, like media, you know, stuff, raising awareness for sex work. I'd like to help girls get out of it that are in it and want to get out of it, or girls that are thinking about going into it. I'd like to speak to them and really, you know, show them. I'd like to help girls increase their pages, make their pages better, there's plenty of things for me to do in this industry without leaving it, at least for the next 20 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as a dominatrix, and a MILF, being older, there's a huge audience for that as well. Because when you have age, what people presume is that you have more experience simply by your age, how long you've been in the industry for. So I think that there's still a lot of work for me to do here, so I'm not worried about that. And I'm hoping to make, honestly, enough money that this, is, I can dabble in and out of what I want.
Can be
That's what I
leisurely
want.
nearly,
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess as well, if you are up in the years, I guess it's still...
I mean, I put a lot of work in. I do a lot. I put myself out there to the media an awful lot, which like a lot of the girls don't do. And I do it because it's all promotion for my page. It's all getting, like yourselves thought of me when you wanted to get somebody on the show because I've put myself out there. And there's loads of girls that do far, 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 far better than me. But I still am on a lot of people's minds when they think about the industry in Ireland because I put myself so out there and because I'm a bit different, because I'm older, because I don't do the mainstream stuff. So I want to really go into that niche and do more talking and stuff because I do really enjoy having these discussions and educating people about it,
Definitely, Definitely. Do you want to go?
Yeah, that's the first thing when we decided to pick guests. That's the first thing I said. Let's bring Sinead on board because, like I said, I've watched you. I've heard you speaking, so I knew you weren't shy from the camera and you were able to speak your mind and give the honest opinion. But there's one more question I want to know anyway, but this one's another deep one. Literally. Fisting.
My guy said literally he was not fucking around right now.
I'm not playing.
Fuck, bro.
I have a lot of questions, man. I don't even know if you have enough time for this, but I have a lot of questions, man. Fisting. How does it work?
Long pause.
Does men pay for that, for fisting?
Yeah, they would pay for a session and included in that session you would discuss with them what they're comfortable with, what they'd like to do.
Have you personally fisted somebody?
Yes. Yeah.
Would you put a glove on?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, everything is like every toy would be covered with a condom. You would be wearing latex gloves. There'd be lots of lube involved. If they make any type of mess, they would have to clean it up after themselves.
Mess,
well, there would be mess if you think about it.
No,
blood?
That's what I'm thinking.
No,
When you say mess, blood, yeah?
No.
What?
Men,
They're shit, bro.
men douche, before
Let's
they
speak
come in.
English, man.
Oh.
Shit.
Yeah, poop.
Bowel movements is what
Thank
I
you.
would say.
Bowel movements, sorry.
Bowel movements, yeah. All over the
Yeah.
floor. And come here, how did a man leave you still acting like a man after being fisted,
Well, men that do domination. I mean,
Did
I
the
don't.
voice
I don't
break?
just, like,
Did the voice break in between the session?
A lot of. You're very much homing in on the in-person dominatrix work, but a lot of the work I do is simply online domination as well. That's a very powerful thing. Like the FinDom men are just giving you money for no reason, and that's a huge part of what I do as well. The in-person domination sessions, that's a particular type of guy. And also I want to say is you have to train to be a dominatrix. You're dealing with body parts. People have wives or girlfriends and things. Some people don't want to be marked when they leave, so you have to be careful you're not bruising them. You have to get the blood flowing to the area first before you just start whipping them. You'd have to spank the area, get the blood flow into it. But things like fisting, I mean, I worked with a brilliant dominatrix, and she basically taught me everything I know. I worked with her and she showed me. I had never fisted anyone. I'd never used a strap-on on a guy. I always said, I would never peg a guy. I would never fist. Oh my, I remember she said to me, but you're a dominatrix. And I was like, well, yeah, online and with girls, but and she's like, no, I can really see potential in you. She's like, I really want to work with you and show you and see what you think. And I mean, thank God, she's amazing, this girl. She really helped me. And so if you're going in to fist somebody, you would obviously have to, stretch it with fingers first, and then more fingers and toys, different size toys. And you have to have gradually stretched the hole out. And obviously
Can you stretch the hole in that day?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, it's all done in one, and it's all done in
You
an
were
hour.
thinking of just, bah! You thought it was going to be
like Conor McGregor's left.
Oh, no.
people's elbow.
You'd rupture things, there'd be
fucking
stuff
right,
coming
yeah.
out. You have to gently get in there. It's the same with, if I'm going to peg a guy, I will, stretch it out beforehand with a toy and use lubricant. With a girl, if I'm going to use my strap-on on a girl, I will, you know, lubricate the area beforehand, you know, use some fingers, some toys, and then go in. I mean, it's like with anything, you wouldn't just go in.
Is it easier with girls than the boy, though?
Well, I'm so used to doing girls now. I really enjoy dominating men. I mean, that would be my favourite thing.
Yeah.
I would really look forward to doing.
And what would be the price of that, like?
For me, what I would charge for an hour domination session?
Now of fisting.
Oh, well, it's all the same, whether it's fisting or it's face smothering or it's whatever, unless it's like, you know, bell or
otherwise
content or, you know, water sports or anything, that's more. But in a general session, anything like that would be, and some guys don't want to be pegged, some guys just want to be whipped. Some guys just want to feet worship. Some guys just want to sweat worship. Some guys want to be wrestled. Some want to be kept in a dog cage. Some just want to massage your feet. It's all different. It's not
crazy.
literally just guys coming in to get fisted, like, you know.
No. It's just, it's crazy because it's a thing that you really don't hear nobody talk about.
I know, yeah, but
it's
you're intrigued now.
Well,
Don't say you're
no.
not.
Eyes here opening wide, not intrigued like that.
No, because
You know.
if it's that big in the industry, it's really black market shit, isn't it? 'Cause no one's talking about it.
That's why
No
I
one
talk
is
about
really
it.
talking.
I mean, I was a dominatrix and I was shocked when I heard. I mean, I thought I was.
Yeah.
And when this amazing girl, you know, she's the youngest dominatrix in Ireland and I was the oldest one, and when I started working with her, I remember thinking, oh my God, how does she do this? She's so powerful, like she's so amazing. She just gets these guys, these big guys that come in, and she's like, take off your fucking shoes. Get, you know, and they go in and they change in the bathroom and they come out and they're wearing gimp suits and, you know,
Fucking hell.
hoods over their heads, and, you know, she fucks them into the dog cage, she puts a lead on them, and I really learned from her because I was like, oh my God, you know what I mean? And at the beginning, I would say I was more of a disciplinarian. Like I would like the spanking and hitting them with a ruler or a wooden spoon and things like that and kind of scolding them. And then as I got more into it, now I really enjoy the sadistic part where like you're really hurting
Kicking them down
you
the
know what I
stairs and
mean?
shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you know. For a few weeks
Wow.
ago, I met somebody on a. I don't know if I was telling himself or whether it was Yous. I don't think I was telling Yous. I think I was telling himself. I met a guy about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago on the beach, and this was a Findom meet, so he got like 3 minutes of my time, and I won't do that for anything less than 150. Now a lot of girls charge more. Where I just met him on the beach. It was deserted. It was nighttime. I wore my big boots, my big bull busters, and he wanted to be kicked in the balls, choked, spat on.
Jesus Christ, I felt that when she said that.
He was on a big stalker while I was doing it. I mean, I was squeezing his balls and he was on a big hard one. You know, I was really kicking him. I lay him down in the sand. I kind of hit his head off the rocks. I spat on him.
This is.
I made him.
And
lick
he
the
paid
sand
you
off.
for this.
Yeah, I made him lick the sand.
That's
off
an
my
abuse.
boots,
And now,
you know?
sorry, just to circle back there very quickly. Did you say 150 for 3 minutes every time?
Yeah, but
For
a
a
lot of
kick
girls
in the
charge more
balls.
than that.
Fuck.
He travelled out to me as well. He actually travelled from, where did he come from? He travelled a long way. I think he travelled like about an hour and a half to come out.
Long way for a kick in the balls.
Yeah, for 3 minutes of time.
It's nuts because like even in bodybuilding when we were flat out competing, like when I'm on the step or sweating, like I do get mad messages like, I'll buy your t-shirt, I'll buy your boxers, don't wash it, send me this. Like I say, like in your field you get so many weird shit.
Well, I just get a lot of submissive men, and I love it because they literally. I mean, I sent it to you this morning. I got one insulting message on my page today, which was the first one I got in a long while. They said, "Oh, I think you're beautiful, and I love your boobs, and you're amazing. But I wish you'd go back to when you had your bodybuilding body and you looked amazing, you know." And I said, "Excuse me, I didn't fucking ask for your opinion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Get the fuck off
Purely
my page.
subjective.
Why
mind your
are you
business.
subbing to me then?"
Yeah.
But yeah, in general, I get very submissive guys that call me goddess, mommy. Like I do a lot of stepmom stuff, so people like to pretend I'm their stepmom, you know, and they get their kicks out of that. And I don't care once they pay me, but I get a lot of respect of these type of guys because you're their queen, so I don't have to deal with the disgusting messages.
Yeah, and that brings it back to like, do you reckon porn is the reason why these fetishes are a thing?
No, I think that
Like,
fetishes
like for
have
example,
been around.
stepmom thing, like that. Do you think porn has put a a serious light to it that
Oh,
a lot of men are
encouraged it,
they
basically.
encourage it.
Well,
and
it's all
be a
back to
stepmom and that.
American Pie, isn't it? With Stifler's mom and all that
Yeah,
type of
yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
And,
yeah.
you know, stepmoms, and it's taboo. Oh, imagine your dad left and you had sex with your stepmom. It's a whole fantasy for guys. And mostly with the video calls I do a lot of video calls. The video calls I do, it's mostly, they're actually about 18, 19, 20. Majority. I get older guys buying content and all that type of stuff for me, like in their 40s, but it's the young guys that want the video call. They want me to be saying, oh, you know, you want mommy and things like that, and they're really into it, the younger
I would
guys.
say young, what are we talking?
18, 19, 20.
Wow,
They've
really?
girlfriends, you know, they have everything
Wow,
going on.
okay.
Serious libido.
So you are really, really like saving people out here.
Well, I mean, there's one guy. And,
One nut at a time.
One at a time. One nut at a time, my guy.
There's one guy, you know, and I know he's never been with a woman, and he started to call me, it's been 2 years now, so he must be 19 or 20 now, but when he started calling me and doing video calls, I mean, I was like, are you
Wait there.
spending
He's
all your
19,
weight?
20 now.
Yeah,
2
so he
years
was
ago,
like-
that means he was fucking 16.
No, he was 18. I made this guy show me his ID, you know, because he had this little fresh face, you know, these little curly hair, this little fresh face, and I was like, you're gonna have to show me your ID. He's like, you know, anyway, we verified he was old enough.
Well, if he was
And-
on your OnlyFans, he's verified.
yeah, but I had to. He looked very young to me.
Yeah.
It didn't feel.
If it made you think
didn't
about it, it's
feel
probably worth
right,
checking
and
it,
yeah.
So, and I've been doing video calls with him on and off for 2.5. Every time he has like something to celebrate or he gets extra money or something, he will resub to my page,
What a
get
guy.
a call, and then he'll come off my page. Like he'll you know, get rid of his account.
No
yeah.
way.
And then he'll come back again, and I'm like, oh yeah. He's like, oh yeah, I'm celebrating whatever today. And I know so he told me I'm the only woman he has kind of dealt with, and I feel bad for him because I'm like, you know, not all women are like this. You know what I mean? It's not like I don't want your first sexual experiences to be with a 40-something-year-old because you're gonna meet a girl that's 19 or 20, and you know she's not going.
He might never.
He might never.
His fetish might be just the older woman.
Yeah,
Might
He
be.
might
shit
not.
right
He
there.
might never. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a lot of people's been bruised and damaged at a young age that they don't know better. You know, and let's be honest. Like I think every little boy has a fetish of riding an older woman.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think so. I
But
think that's
remember in school?
Yeah, but that's
Like
again,
Your
every-
teacher, you'd have a hot teacher.
Every little boy had a fetish of riding
or
an
your
older woman.
friend's mom was hot or
Do you know what I
something
mean?
like
Stacey's
that.
mom.
Yeah.
What is going on? You know what I
that's
mean?
the anthem of my people, bro.
You know what I mean? But no, true respect to you, man. Have you got more questions? Or?
I have one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go for it, man.
I have
Go for
one,
it.
right.
I'm waiting, bro. Hot.
Right.
Sizzling.
My good sir here had said that you were having a discussion before we arrived, right? And it was one thing in it that I was just so curious about, and it's a wank license.
A what?
A wank,
Oh,
yeah, a wank
okay.
license, yeah.
So
A wank license.
Yeah, a wank
What you
license.
mean?
Well, it's not okay. So, like, I take on lifestyle subs. Okay, so they pay me money every week. And
Oh my
that's-
God, I know
so,
what it is.
So they have to pay me. So they would pay what I charge personally for. They have to pay me every week would be €50. That's the minimum. And then on top of that, they have to buy me things from my wish list. You know, my Amazon wish list. They have to buy my content and they have to tip me regularly. And then say some guys come. This is just one of the fetishes. Lifestyle subs can be anything, but this particular guy that you are talking about, I get a lot like him. He has a problem with masturbation and he can't stop himself, or this is what he likes to tell himself. So he has me give him permission on when he can and he can't. And if he does it when he's not allowed, he will have to send me a tribute of money and he will have to do a task for me.
But why would he tell you the truth, though?
Because
'Cause
that's
that's part
their
of the
fetish.
thing,
That's their
though,
whole
yeah.
kink. Or I will say to him, he'll say, oh, please, you know, I had a really bad day today, mommy. Please, can I, you know, pull myself off? And I'll say, well, you know, you can do it with your bad hand. You can do it with your bad hand.
It feels like somebody else is doing it.
Or you can edge yourself. You can edge yourself. Things like that. You know, guys wear cock cages. I haven't done this yet. Like a lot of doms take on guys and they have cock cages, and I would hold the key to their cock cage, and you know, it'd be all wrapped up small. And yeah, that's it. It's just literally one of the many fetishes you do.
Do you know that's the funny thing that you said that? Me and the missus was watching House of Ace, House of Spade, House of
Cards?
House of Cards.
Kevin Spacey?
Yeah. That's a freaky.
Fucking crazy
You
shit.
should watch it.
I haven't seen it.
Oh,
crazy
true, watch it.
shit.
And the problem, the same thing. He rings her and begs her, can I have a wank? Rings her and begs her when he sees a nice board that he wants to put, oh, can I please go off with this one? And I'm like, nigga, just do it, man.
No, the thing is with these guys, these guys like giving you their control. They like handing control.
And it's always
over.
a powerful person. It's always somebody at the top of his food chain.
Oh yeah, a lot of the time.
It's crazy, and they just want to let go of their power.
It's businessmen. It's guys.
Yeah.
A guy that I dominate. I mean, like he's a good job. Like I mean, these guys have to have money to have a mistress. Okay, because they have to pay me a lot of money. So if they have no money, they can't get that service off me. Even like I said, the lifestyle subs that come to me, they have to have enough money to be able to pay me to 100%. Interact with them. And I will not even. I mean, guys sub to my page and. You know, if they want to talk to me or they're telling me their problems, you know, I can't pay today because, I don't know, my friend got sick, my dog died, whatever, you know, and I'm like, listen, I'm not interested in that, honestly. You know, get a girlfriend for that or a counselor. I just want to be paid my money and do what I got to do with you. I'm not interested. If I'd have a boyfriend, if I wanted to hear people's problems, I'd get a boyfriend, I'd listen to his. I want nothing to do with that, you know what I mean? So it's literally transactional for me and I will pay them. I do nothing for free, and I think guys actually respect that more from me because I don't mess around. And I think the more confident you are, right, and the more powerful you seem to people, and the more confident you are, it makes you more attractive to these type of guys, you know. And plus, a lot of guys, I know you will argue with this. They like the chase of a woman. Okay? I mean, you know,
every man likes to chase.
Yeah.
Every man likes to chase.
Yeah.
That's
so
one thing I will say.
A lot of guys get a kick out of trying to chase me, but they'll know it'll never happen. So their actual fetish is just paying for my lifestyle. A guy brought me out shopping a few.
Like, if you were to look at any girls right now going into the OnlyFans, well, what could you tell them that you've done wrong or done different, that you could have done different when you first started?
I would not make the content that I made now at the beginning of my career. The last proper boy-girl scene I did with the photographer and everything present, the one I was telling you about, I took 2 Valium and had a whack load of joints before I went and did that collab. Yeah, and
like, you know, like, sorry to pull you up on that. That doesn't sit well with me, like, you know, doing something that you don't like, especially when it's intimate, like it's not feel like. How would you feel after it? Like, I'm pretty sure if you don't like it, you feel like shit after it.
You actually don't. It's really, honestly, you disassociate in this job. Every girl will tell you the same thing, and once you've done it and it's over, it's gone from your head.
Really?
Yeah.
That's just really, it. Like, you just move forward.
It's just going through the motions. I really didn't want to do that because, and it was kind of after like things like that. I said, you know, this isn't the type of content I want to make. I don't want to have a man be on top of me, and as I felt, violating me. You know what I mean? And pretending I enjoy it, sell it on my stuff. It might sell more because, I mean, technically what do guys want to see? Guys want to see me being fucked, right? You know what I mean? That's what, you know, but I don't want to make that content anymore. I want to be the one in charge. I want to be the one that's on top of a man, that's choking him, that's doing things to him. And that's something I had to turn my content around. Do I make less money because I do it? I'm not sure. I know that if I was younger and I was in my 20s and 30s, I probably would have continued to do the boy-girl, the whole porn route. But now I think because I'm older, and I had to explore. I mean, I worked in a strip club for like 1 or 2 nights as well, Angels in Town. I tried that out. I decided I hate it and I left it. So you have to try all day. You know, before they go straight in doing the boy-girl thing and everything, you know, just really think about what you. I think you have to try a lot of stuff out though. To like, if I had never done domination with this girl, I wouldn't have known how much I enjoyed it and how much I preferred this type.
And that brings me to the third question. Say in a month, what should an average OnlyFans page be making to be comfortable? To be comfortable. When we say comfortable, like
some girls
OnlyFans girls, right? OnlyFans girls cannot do OnlyFans and still have a 9 to 5. Is that possible?
A lot of girls still need a 9 to 5. I
mean,
still do 9 to 5, a lot of girls I know, I wouldn't be doing it for the money that they're making. I don't think it's worth it to me. Because you're putting yourself out there, you're putting yourself in hard situations, you've a lot to lose. Obviously, it affects you for the rest of your life. So to go into this, I would want to be making a certain amount of money in my head for me to make it worth it. But I suppose when you're starting off in this, it's the whole excitement of getting the money for, you know, sex or showing your body off. And Another thing is that I just want to touch on is this is a very hard industry for girls to get out of, because I've often thought about leaving if I've had a bad day, I haven't made any much money that day, you know, say I've only made $50 or $30 that day, and I'm like, oh God, you know what I mean, what's the point? I could be working in McDonald's and get more than this, you know what I mean? You have to I'm after losing my train of thought there now. You have to, like, how do I put this? You have to, like, find yourself what you want to earn from it, and really work towards it. Like, set a goal a day, and, you know, like, not everyone's just going to make thousands as soon as you join. Yeah. You have to build up to that. I was lucky when I started that I had a kind of a decent following, but like that, my followings have all been, I've no followers now. My Instagram has gotten deleted that many times, right? People don't know how to find me anymore. I'm shadow banned and things like that. It's really hard to make money in this job. You have to be constantly promoting, constantly doing everything you can, putting yourself out there. And a lot of girls I know make feck all money from it, and you want to leave this job, okay? And the only thing is, it's very addictable, because if I left this job and I got 9 to 5, if anyone would employ me, I can make a lot quicker money doing a video call. I mean, I can make, you know, €40 in 5 minutes for a video call. Like you said, I can meet somebody and kick them in the balls for €130 for 3 minutes, or €50. So this is really quick money if you put the work in. So it's very hard to leave it, because what are you going to do? You're struggling, and one day and you're like, oh, you know, I could just go and do a video call now and make a quick 40, or even more if you're doing in-person meets, you're doing full service like I was discussing. You're short of a few bob, you know, if you just book somebody in, you can make yourself a couple of hundred quite quick. It's very hard to get out of this job, like just to get out of this industry, because the money is quick and fast, but you do have to build up to getting that cash, you know? A lot to think about. It's not so easy as just getting in.
It's essentially self-employment as well, which is it.
Yeah, but it's great, all, OnlyFans don't promote you at all. Like, and so you really have to just do all the promotion
because the platform wasn't built for selling sex at the start.
Not originally. I wish I'd gotten into it though when I was in my 20s. Same as like with the bodybuilding. I wish I'd gotten into that a lot sooner as well, because I think the older you get, the tighter you get, the more pissed off at life you get, the more, you know, so I think if I was in my 20s and I was doing OnlyFans, I'd be like really, really killing it now, you know? It's just harder when you're older, I feel, you know, the bodybuilding now, as much as I've been interested in going back to it, like I said, I'd do it if I had some camera crew following me around, but I kind of feel like, oh God, I'm 42 now, it's so much energy, I'm knackered. I do a photo shoot and my knees are cracking. I mean, I do all the work in photo shoots. If you think about it, I'm wearing the strap on, so anything. So like I'd have like I did a shoot there a few weeks ago. It was 5 girls lined up, and I had to have sex with everyone, you know, and then they all want their own pictures with me and their own videos with me. And the photographer, the cameraman was like, Sinead, you're going to have to build your stamina up, you know what I mean? Like, you're sweating. And I said, cardio. Do you want to fucking line up here and ride 5 girls in a row? Let's see how good you do it, you know what I mean?
What did he say to that? What was his answer, Sinead?
No, but you know what I mean? It's not easy. It's a physical job, man, for me.
Oh, we know.
I know, you know. So I'm doing a man's job, and I'm like, damn, it's easier to just lie back and take it. Like I'm there sweating, like bouncing around. You know, it's hard. My knees are killing me from the bodybuilding. I've all these injuries from deadlifting wrong, and you know, so my body's falling apart now, and I'm peripausal, and I'm going through the change. And this is a young person's game, but I'm going to stay in it for as long as I can. You know,
as you should. You're smashing it.
Thank you.
And like the last and final question that I want to get out of the way is, so would you say in your own experience that girls shouldn't be looking to go on OnlyFans at a young age? They need to find themselves first before they go.
I don't think you're mature enough to join any type of online sex work or sex work in general, any type in this industry until you're 25. You're not developed maturely, mentally enough until you're 25. You don't know. Your opinions have changed. When I was 18 to 25, the stuff I did back then I'd never do now. And my opinions have totally changed, and you're not mature enough, and you get taken advantage of easier. And you think at the time your opinions are never going to change, and they do, and it's too late. And it's not as easy as, going out with that guy you shouldn't have done. Or, I mean, literally it could be you doing a gangbang and then your kids finding it online like 8 years later or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's serious.
It's mad.
You know what I mean? There's not enough thought putting it in.
That's mad. But Sinead, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming in. And guys, catch us on the next one.